Welcome back. About 2 minutes away from the start of the second half. Bryant is up 13-0 against the Panthers right now. Very low scoring game so far, only 13 points from the first half.
And Nick, what do you look forward to seeing as the Cabot Panthers come out from half? What do you expect them to see adjusted to win this ball game as they're down 13-0? Is coming into the second half, but at least here we get the ball back.
Like you're right about that. We do get ball at the start of the second half. So it's going to be interesting to see how the first drive of the second half starts. I feel like that will set the momentum for the rest of the game. If we come out in high attack and get some points on the board, looking very strong for our offense. If not, it might be a little struggle because this Bryant defense has not broke down yet. They've been able to secure and been able to stop the run game, create a couple stops on fourth downs against the Panthers.
Yeah, yes, like you were saying, and coming into the second half here, what you have to worry about if you're a Cabot Panther offensive defensive player is if Bryant is able to play the second half, or if they wore themselves out playing hard knock football in that first half, if they're going to be able to play 4 quarters and not just 2 or 3 or just 1. But here coming into the second half, I guarantee that Cabot's going to come out with momentum strong after we return this kickoff, and I guarantee you Bryant's going to make a mistake if they make the mistake of kicking to T.J. Rogers. T.J. Rogers will return for a big game like he did earlier when he was kicked the ball to him.
So before this second half starts, let's take a look at your Arkansas Class A football standings. One undefeated team remains in the whole 7A, and that is North Little Rock, number 1 ranked team in the state. 3 one-loss teams in Bryant, team Cabot's playing right now, Conway and Springdale. A couple 2-loss teams in Northside and Fayetteville, and then you have teams to back it off, as in Bentonville Catholic and Bentonville West. Cabot sits there in the middle of the pack almost in the 7A. As of right now, not in postseason spot. So this game would definitely be big once again for this Panthers to come out and win, as it is only a 13-point deficit.
And as Cabot gets lined up for the kick return here, you got to be wondering if you're a Cabot Panther, or even if your name is T.J. Rogers, if I get the ball here, what can I do to benefit my team and to score on this kick return to get –
Before the second half starts, we're going to head back to the field with reporter Caleb Gullahorn for a second half preview.
Second half is just about to kick off. Panthers will receive the ball first, but some sad news. Zane Harper is out for the rest of the game due to injury, so the defense in the secondary is going to have to step it up. The linebackers and defensive linemen are going to have to stop the run, and the secondary is going to have to stop the pass. The Panthers offense has to come out a lot stronger and pick up a lot more first downs than they did in the first half, and hopefully the Panthers can put some points on the board and tie this game up. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Caleb, for that second half preview, and that's a big loss for the Panthers if Zane is out. That just shows that secondary is going to have to step up. Zane leading in tackles and interceptions for this defense for the Panthers this year, but as of right now, we're about to start a look out for the Panthers offense as the second half kickoff is off, and that will be an instant penalty as the kick goes out of bounds.
And if you're on the defense for the Cabot Panthers, you got to wonder if you're going to be able to step up into the shoes of Zane Harper since he's out of the rest of the game with the injury, and how long he'll be out. If it's the remainder of the season, we do not know. But if you're a Cabot Panther fan, you got to be wondering who's going to step up and really take the brass ring of this defense and really get the momentum back to the offense and really take control of the game, because the defense really needs to step up here if they want a chance at winning this game or even get a spot in the playoffs.
Being actually a re-kick coming up from the Bryants. Instead of kicking from the 40, they'll be kicking from the 35, so a potential return once again coming up for the Panthers.
And a big return here can set the Cabot Panthers up for a shot in good field position. But if they do not get at least somewhere between their 35 and past midfield, you got to be wondering what kind of kinks there still need to be worked out for the offense and or defense. As Bryant comes lined up for the kick here, as they're re-kicking like Nick said.
And they'll kick 5 yards further than they were on the first one due to the penalty. Like I said, instead of being inside the 10, the returners are spotted to around the 15-yard line to set up for the return.
Nikai Rudolph and TJ Rogers just switched positions here as they're doing it. They're closing in again. You got to be wondering if they're trying to get TJ the ball here.
They'll kick it right to Rogers again.
Oh, he muffed it.
TJ will lose the ball, but he's able to create speed right here as he's got the sideline past the 45. So a muffed kick return ends up to be a big play for TJ Rogers at the end.
And like I was saying before the half ended, TJ Rogers is just going to have to step up on not only the offensive side of the ball, but on the kick returns and punt returns if he wants to give the Cabot Panthers a chance to really get back into this game here. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Cabot Panthers.
Jesse Woodemaker and the Panthers offense will start on the 48. So a great start for the second half, only 8 seconds out. So great field position to start it off. Hopefully it can turn into some points on the board for the Panthers. Jesse Woodemaker on the handoff right down the middle. Looks to be. Handoff was to Graham Turner on the play. With forward progress, he may have got a gain of 1 or 2. They'll spot him near the 50. So about a gain of 2 right there on first down for Graham, as Bradley will come back out again. And number 32, Isaiah Ogilvy, will take his spot.
And you gotta be wondering what the Cabot offense is going to do here. If they're going to hand it off to TJ or they're going to hand it off to Bradley Morales.
That's what they'll do. They'll hand the ball off to TJ Rogers on second down. Near the 45, and there's some intense expressions out there from the Panthers as Graham Turner gets into it with a defender.
And what a hit there was on TJ going for the legs there because that's what you got to do when a running back's running full speed at you. You just got to go for the legs and hope you can knock him down. If not, just knock him off balance so he'll maybe go out of bounds if you're near the out of bounds sideline, or just knock him off on his butt, because, I mean, there's nothing much you can really do when TJ Rogers is running head first at you, but either tackle him or get trucked.
3rd and 3. Quick third down coming. Jesse Woodemaker fakes the handoff. He'll keep it himself, and the offensive line may have been able to push Woodemaker enough for the first down. And here we go with some more.
As you hear the Cabot Panther fans here at Bryant Field is not happy with how the refs are officiating this game for the Cabot Panthers so far. There's been 2 incidents, including this one, where Bryant has shown poor sportsmanship to the Cabot Panthers, and the refs have done nothing about it. There was the incident when Nikai Rudolph got his helmet ripped off when they got into the tangle up, and then there was this. But you got to wonder what's going to happen next in this intense ball game.
So a great first down pickup for the Panthers as they'll move the chains to the 40. Rogers on first down, about a gain of 5. But you got to give it up to that offensive line. It looked like Woodemaker would have been short of that first down on that last play, but that little last push into the back of Woodemaker to get him to the first down. So you got to give props if you're Woodemaker to that O-line to help him out to get that first.
Yeah, and that's what you like to see if you're a lines coach or if you're an offensive coordinator. You like to see your offensive line giving an extra push to the quarterback or running back, whoever has the ball at the top point of time, because without the offensive line, that play would have went nowhere.
That handoff is to number 31, Wyatt McMahon. Stopped about to the 30-yard line, so that may be enough for a first down for the Panthers, and it will move the chains. So far, so good on this first drive for the Panthers to start this second half off. They have removed about 2.5 minutes. Actually, about 2.5 minutes of this third quarter already, 9:30 left. On the reverse to Rogers again, trying to get to the outside. He's tripped up, and here we go again.
Here we go. There's a flag. Question is it going to be in favor of us?
So some high, intense emotions from both sides. That just shows how big this game is for both teams. Bryant's homecoming and Cabot fighting for a postseason spot into the conference tournament. You can see Widowmaker showing that leadership, trying to get his offense in the right-minded, trying not to fight back.
The flag's going to be on Cabot here, but it really looked like it should have been on Bryant. But then again, you got to realize this is Bryant's homecoming game, and you never know who the refs are really pulling for in secret side of heart here, because you never know. Like just happened, that should have been on Bryant, but you know Cabot's going to get every call. Not going to get every call, so it's going to be first down.
And it will be 1st and 10 coming up for Cabot at the 28-yard line.
The refs are going to talk something over here as they blew the whistle to hold the play off. Oh, it's going to be 2nd down. As you hear the Cabot Panther fans strong here in Bryant are not happy with the refs officiating here tonight. What do you got to say about that, Nick?
I mean, sometimes it happens with the emotions of games that players, react towards some different things, and that just shows how both teams want this win very badly. So you're going to have those high emotion plays going on at the end of plays as some players, will try and get into the heads of the other teams to cause them to mess up again later on in the game. But you just got to shake that off if you're any player and, get back to the next play and make something happen. Try and throw it back into their face. You tried to get me off my game, but I just hurt you on the next play. But a 3rd and 7 coming up for the Panthers. So another 3rd down handoff is to Graham Turner to about the 20-yard line.
Looks like he's going to be short of the first down here.
Yeah, maybe by a yard for Turner.
Maybe they'll come out and measure it with the chains like they did with Bryant earlier in the first half. Maybe not.
That's what they might have to do to measure this run. Looks like they're going to spot him down near the 19 after that one. So past the 20, he may have got just enough for that Panthers first down.
Here come the chains, like I was saying, and they're going to measure this, and it looks like it's going to be short of the first down.
4th and inches coming up for the Panthers, and once again, the Panthers offense does not look like they will not get off the field for this one, as it is a 4th and 1 on the 19. So a big play for both teams. If Bryant does get a stop, it puts the momentum back with them, being up 13. If not, it moves the chains for the Panthers and another opportunity to get into the end zone.
And, the more this game progresses, the more I realize that this isn't the same Cabot team from last week. Last week, T.J. Rogers ran all over Little Rock Central's defense, and it seems that now that they're playing a better defense in Bryant, then they're not getting as many opportunities and as many breaks as they did last week. So that's really come in effect and to haunt them from last week, or maybe it's just not lack of practice, but just lack of motivation since Coach Malham got his 300th win, and they're really just trying to blow it and get to the off season so they could train, get ready for the next season, come out bigger, better, and stronger. But who knows? It's going to be first down for the Panthers here.
Widowmaker will pitch it out to the outside for Rogers. He'll try and spin, but another good read by the Bryant defense. Another loss of yards for T.J. Rogers.
You got to wonder here, if you're T.J. Rogers, you got to wonder what hole can your offensive line open up? What way can you run to get in the end zone here? Because this is really, I know it's still early, it's still third quarter, but it's really do or die time for the Cabot Panther offense, because if they don't score here and Bryant gets the ball back and goes to score, it may be the last chance of life for the Cabot Panther offense if they're not going to punch it in here on this drive.
It's different formation right there, not the dead T, only 2 backs. Widowmaker looking upfield. He'll keep it himself. Good run right there by Widowmaker to get a good set of those yards back and a few more after the loss of TJ Rogers' run.
And that comes back to what I was saying in the first half. If Cabot comes lined up in a different formation and Jesse goes out for a pass and uses his legs, he might get a good chunk of yards just like he did on that play. And maybe that Coach Melham and all the other coaches see that. They'll try to incorporate that more in the second half here to try to get Cabot a win here tonight. But it's going to be third down.
3rd and 7, 6:50 left into the third quarter. Panthers still on their first drive of the possession. They did start off with the ball in the second half, and so they've almost shedded about half of the third quarter clock.
So they're back in that dead T formation here.
Yep. Handoff goes to, looks like, number 32, Isaiah Ogilvy, and he'll be met up. Actually, correction, the handoff is to Graham Turner.
And if you're down there in the field, you just got to be wondering how high those emotions are if you're at home watching this football game, because both teams really need this win here tonight. Cabot needs this win to not only give Bryant a loss, but they need it in order to move up in the rankings to get a playoff spot, just like Coach Malham said they're going to work on after his 300th win, that they're really going to try for a playoff spot. But if they can't win here, you got to think that Cabot's playoff chances are slim to none after a loss here.
Widowmaker on play action, and that pass is deflected, and that was 4th down for the Panthers. So another 4th down conversion failed, as the Bryant Hornets will take the ball on the 11-yard line.
And I've never really been a fan of celebrations after stuff like that. I mean, you just got to have sportsmanship and act like you've been there before instead of just sitting there rubbing it in Jesse Widowmaker's face. Number 39 on the Bryant defense just should have just walked to the sideline to get ready for his next defensive go. I mean, I understand it brings swagger to the game, but you just got to still have that sportsmanship in your heart and not be such cocky.
So here comes the first play for Bryant. It looks to be a handoff to Scott once again. It's been mainly their offense, including a couple of good passes from their quarterback, Heffley. But Latavian Scott's been a big part of this offense, and I feel like if the Panthers defense is able to stop him for these short gains, as he was only able to gain one on that, if they're able to stop him on those short plays, I have a feeling that this defense is going to be able to get off the field pretty quick for their offense to come back and try to put some points on the board.
And Bryant's deep in their own territory here. So what they need to do, what they might try to do here is try to open up the pass play, just like they're doing here.
Yep. Heffley will drop back, and he's got a receiver open, step out of bounds, almost near the 15-yard line.
Was he in bounds when he made the catch?
He was in bounds. He just stepped out of bounds, so almost to the 25-yard line on that one.
It's going to be another 1st and 10 for Bryant.
So he was able to maintain possession in bounds and get a foot in on that one. 5:15 left. Bryant will take place, another 1st down on the 24-yard line.
Another man in motion here for Bryant. This drop back for another pass.
Yep. Heffley trying to look downfield again.
Oh, is that an interception for Cabot? Nope.
Ball hit the ground. Good coverage right there from the secondary, as Zane Harper once again is out for the rest of the game, so that secondary definitely steps up on that play.
And for Bryant here, it's really been their offense. It's really been their game here tonight, because except for that interception by Cabot, it's really their pass game has really been strong here. And you got to think maybe they're going to rely more on that here in the second half to put this ball game away.
2nd and 10 coming up. Handoff goes through the middle of the field past the 25, and he'll be stopped around the 27, 28-yard line.
Their running back's looking strong here. Just like in the first half when he had that big run, which set up the first score for Bryant.
Well, instead of Latavian Scott out there, it looks like they've changed different backs to being number 35, Ahmad Adams. So that was Ahmad Adams' first run of the game. So a 3rd and 6 coming up for Bryant. Heffley will drop back. Heffley will look down the field. Another receiver wide open for another Hornets 1st down.
That's just bad coverage by the Cabot defense here. You know they're going to throw it to a short route there, so why not play the man coverage instead of dropping back for a zone or coverage like that? Why not play man to man? So instead of leaving that receiver wide open when he does a comeback route or a curl route or something like that, you're there to either swat the ball away or potentially intercept the ball and get the ball back to your offense and TJ Rogers here.
1st and 10. Adams will take the handoff, and Adam has got some open field past the 50. He'll get to around the 40-yard line. He'll get a couple extra yards after being past the 40-yard line, but another big run. So that just shows that Bryant has more than just one running back that can get the job done. Like I said, you were seeing just mainly Latavian Scott. Now Adams is out there for Bryant putting some work in.
Yeah, and from our view here at Bryant Stadium, it looks like the Cabot defense is getting wore out by how good the running backs for Bryant here is doing here. Maybe that comes into effect when it comes to the passes, and that gets the defensive backs not ready, and their stamina's low, and they're just wore out.
There's another handoff past the 30, so that's once again another first down for Bryant, and that's another different running back. That's number 13, Braylon Butler for Bryant. So 3 running backs that have been showing that they can get the job done, being out there, being the only back there with Heffley. So a couple of back-to-back first downs for Bryant from different running backs.
And it seems that the Bryant offense wants it more than the Cabot defense here, as they just keep driving down the field on Cabot's defense as they hand it off once again, and he's just going to juke and just find a hole easily there.
Braylon Butler on the carry once again, be close to another first down. If not, it looks like he'll be just about a yard or two short of the first down. So 2nd down coming up for the Hornets.
And, the running back for Bryant here is just really easily finding holes and able to get off tackles here. And, that just plays into another effect of the Cabot defense is getting wore out, and it's only the 3rd quarter here.
Heffley on the read option will keep it himself to run to the outside. He may have just picked up a couple of yards enough for the first down. He just needed about a yard. And they'll say he didn't get it, so 3rd and short coming up for the Panthers. So this is where you've been seeing the good side of the Panthers defense. They've only allowed 1 touchdown. The past 2 the scoring possessions, they've only allowed field goals. So when they get into this red zone or goal line, it's been able to get these stops and only allow field goals. Handoff is off, and that looks to be about enough for a Bryant first down, as he only needed a yard. Number 35, Ahmad Adams, once again on the handoff.
And Bryant's running backs have really been tearing our defense up the whole game here today. And it just comes back to the thing, who wants it more? And Cabot really needs a goal line stand here, as Bryant's in the red zone here, and it's probably going to be it's probably 1st and goal right now. But Cabot just needs to have a goal line stand here and stop the Bryant offense from getting momentum and stop the running back essentially from getting a touchdown.
Adams once again, and that's another Hornets touchdown. Looks like he was about to get stopped, and there's a flag on Jack Dixon.
He's going to get ejected.
That's another helmet flown off. And there's another high-intense play right there, as Jack Dixon is not so happy on what happened, and he is still showing unhappiness on that field. But there we go once again, another high-emotion play that turns out, and this one will be affected and will hurt the Panthers.
Well, I mean, I don't blame number 91 for the way he reacted there. Bryant's been doing that stuff to Cabot pretty much the whole game today, and the refs haven't called nothing. But it just seems in this particular time, he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And it just so happens 2 refs were beside him when he did it. And I honestly think if the refs weren't right there, he would have thrown that helmet straight at the Bryant player's head. Because it's going to be 1st and goal here for the Bryant Hornets after that, I guess, unsportsmanlike penalty on number 91 for the Cabot Panthers defense.
Instead of being 1st and goal, Ahmad Adams was actually able to get into the end zone for a touchdown. So here comes the extra point attempt for Bryant. Extra point is up, and it looks to be good to make this score 20-0 for the Bryant Hornets here at Bryant Stadium. So we were talking about Latavian Scott and how he was able to show. We didn't really see nothing at all from him. We saw the two other backs in Butler and Adams. And Adams looked like he was about to be stopped on that third down. He just bumped out to the outside and scored. So,
and you see, and I'm not starting to change the subject here, but you see as the Cabot defense came off the field, T.J. Rogers ran straight to him and said, "Come on, guys, you got this. Keep your head on straight. We really got it here." And that just shows how T.J. Rogers has assumed the role as team leader here tonight. But back to what you're saying about the running backs, you're right. I think that Bryant coaches had just realized that Scott has just had a tremendous game here tonight, and they pretty much just gave him the night off because, I mean, the Cabot defense isn't showing no life when it comes to the run, to defending the run. So, I mean, why put him out there and risk injury for the rest of the season?
2:51 remaining in the third quarter. 20-0 here. Bryant over Cabot. As that penalty after the play was over by Jack Dixon will actually allow Bryant to punt or to kick off from the opposite 45. So this will most likely definitely be a touchback to allow no return for T.J. Rogers or anyone in that back. So that is a bad penalty for the Panthers as the kickoff is off, and that one's definitely nowhere to be returnable as it will be kicked to the back of the end zone.
And you got to wonder here on this next offensive possession for the Cabot Panthers. As I was saying, as Bryant scored, T.J. Rogers really ran out there to his defensive guys and said, "Look, guys, I understand that we're losing big, but you got to keep your head on straight. You can't lose your sportsmanship here, and you just got to really keep your head on strong." Which may light a fire inside of T.J. Rogers to perform well in this third and fourth quarter, and maybe quite possibly it brings Cabot back with the 20-point deficit that they're in. And who knows, maybe Cabot can get a fire lit under them, and they can come back and win this ball game here tonight.
Still a lot of more football to go. You still have just a little bit in the third and a full fourth quarter. Only down 20 here. Got to hope the best for these Panthers. They'll start off with Jesse under center for the first play on first down. Looks to be handed off by T.J. Rogers, but is met at the line.
He's just swallowed up by the defensive line there. And if the Cabot Panthers can't come back and they're blown out here on Bryant's homecoming game, you just got to wonder that the Cabot Panthers football team must have their hearts broken, as if they lose here, Bryant wins another game, which they won't rise or fall in the rankings, but Cabot may fall and may potentially lose their playoff spot for good for the rest of the season.
Comes Widowmaker on the option. He'll pitch it out to TJ to the outside. TJ will try and spin out a defender, and it looks to be enough for a Panther first down for TJ Rogers.
And I like how they ran that option when Jesse Widowmaker knew that he was potentially about to get tackled for a loss. He kind of just hopped in or jumped in the air and just pitched it back to TJ, and TJ really ran with a purpose on how he has the entire Cabot High School on his shoulders to bring Coach Malham one more state title as he's going to retire after this season. But you never know what TJ Rogers can do when he's under pressure.
First and 10 on the 30 coming up for the Panthers. Ball is handed off to number 6. It looks to be Graham Turner. He is shoved back by that Bryant D line.
The Cabot O-line here just looks like they're tired, and they're just giving up on Jesse Widowmaker, Graham Turner, T.J. Rogers, and all of our other guys that are making plays. The offensive line really needs to stand up here in the third and fourth quarters to really just smack Bryant in the mouth so we can potentially score on this drive and get us a game.
Ball was lost by Jesse Widowmaker on the thing, and it does look like that Bryant did recover, and Bryant will take position after the fumble by Jesse Widowmaker. So Bryant back on offense.
It's got to be heartbreaking if you're a Cabot Panther offensive lineman or Jesse Widowmaker or anybody who plays on the offense for the Cabot Panthers, as you're just really sealing your fate here, not protecting the ball well enough. I understand that the ball's wet, but you really just got to really know where you are, know when the ball is at all times, and just if you fumble the snap, just fall on it. Don't try to pick it up and run, just fall on it. Just point blank simple. So you don't risk a turnover here, and you really just gave the ball back to Bryant in amazing field position, and you never know what Bryant can do with their dangerous passing game and their dangerous running game here tonight.
Heffley will start off 5 wide on the 29-yard line, so excellent field position coming up for Bryant as on first down, Heffley will look down the field. He'll try to throw deep into the end zone for his man. Passes deflected by number 4, Jake Mowdy. So an incomplete pass.
It seemed to see like Heffley really thought his man was wide open in the back of the end zone, but the Cabot Panthers just really closed in on that ball and prevented it from being a touchdown, as Heffley was 5 wide, like you said. But you got to wonder what can you do to get the ball back here, and if you intercept it, if they do what they just did on first down. If you intercept it, you just gotta run, and try to score, so that you get back in the ball game.
Well, that one turnover they caused, they brought major pressure from that D line to beat that O line from Bryant to allow Heffley to just throw it nowhere right to Zane Harper. So that's what they're gonna have to do. They're gonna have to find to be able to bring more pressure against Heffley to make him just throw the ball away, or if not, just try and make a play happen, but not a smart play, as that play he tried to attempt was picked off.
I know when Bryant gets more in Cabot territory, Cabot, you really see a sign of light from the Cabot defense as they really step up when Bryant starts to get towards the end zone. As it's third down here, you got to wonder if Cabot can stop him here. Can Cabot get the ball back without them scoring anything?
Well, here comes Heffley. He'll look, and intercepted by number 3, DeCairo Rudolph. His first interception of the season, and he'll try to make a return, not going down without a fight. DeCairo Rudolph, CHTV zone. He's in my class, and then more flags on the play. And like I said, just more emotions coming out at the end of the play. Most likely be an unsportsmanlike conduct, but DeCairo Rudolph gets his first interception of the year, and so that's got to be a great feeling for DeCairo.
And if you remember early in the first half, maybe second quarter, DeCairo Rudolph was caught in a scuffle that led to his helmet getting ripped off, and DeCairo was getting up swinging like he potentially wanted to fight the Bryant player, but DeCairo came up back to the sideline, and the coaches surrounded him and said, look, I understand the intensities are high, but you just got to keep your head on strong like the rest of the team has to. And it really showed that DeCairo kept his head on strong, and he's just really bringing it back to Bryant here because he's shown that he really wants to win this game, as Cabot's in deep Cabot territory here.
Yep, that penalty definitely hurt the Panthers. That unsportsmanlike conduct will move them 15 yards back, so instead of being at the 25, they'll be at the 10. Here comes a reverse to T.J. Rogers trying to get to the outside and make something happen, as he'll get about a gain of 3 or 2 to 3 on that first down play. But it's nice to see that on the defensive end, even though Zane Harper, one of our main leaders on the defensive side, is out for the rest of the game, that a young talent like DeCairo Rudolph, he's only a junior, can make a play that happen to get the defense off the field. So you got to feel good if you're DeCairo Rudolph.
And like you said, DeCairo Rudolph is a junior, so you got to wonder what he can do in the offseason to really prepare himself for his senior year and, quite frankly, be a better defensive back. But, you know, as the offense comes back on the field after this break from the third quarter, you got to wonder, what is TJ Rogers' breaking point here? Because most of his teammates have gotten unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. His probably one of the best defensive players we have, and Zane Harper's out for the rest of the game. So you got to wonder, at what point will TJ Rogers just finally explode and turn into a running beast like we know him to be, and really put Cabot back in the game? Because it seems to me that really TJ Rogers just needs to enable that fury that he has building inside of him to really just take a burst and just go with it.
So the Panthers will start the fourth quarter on a 2nd and 6 coming up on the 14-yard line, still deep in their own territory.
And I'm telling you, Nick, that offensive line, they're tired, they're beaten, they're bruised because not only did it rain, but it was colder weather. So you gotta realize that those hits hurt more, not really hurt, but stung more than what they usually do when it's not as cold and not as rainy.
Goes the handoff from Jesse Woodemaker.
Number 45, Austin Bailey. Number 90, Kyle Green.
Number 32, Isaiah Ogilvy with the run on second down, but it'll be another third down coming up for the Panthers on the 19-yard line. So a 3rd and 1 coming up. So a must-needed first down for the Panthers if they want to keep on the field with their offense.
And like I've been saying the whole game, you've got to wonder if you're a Cabot Panther player, what can I do? What can we do to rally our team and just to get points on the board so it's not a complete sweep, not a complete blowout?
Handoff goes to number 31, White McMahon, enough for a Panthers first down past the 20.
And I'm going to tell you, Nick, it looks like, I don't know, it just looks like Cabot really just needs a big play to give him the momentum and light a fire from under him and light a fire within him so that Jesse Woodemaker, T.J. Rogers, and all of our big-time players can really, get a good run, get a good play in so we could put points on the board.
1st and 10 on the 22, 11 minutes to go in this night's ball game. Another reverse to T.J. Rogers. But once again, Bryant defense is right on it. Not allowing T.J. Rogers to get to that outside like they know he can do and break off for a very long run usually.
And what Bryant's really done well in this game is they really came into this game well prepared. They came in, I guarantee you they watched film, they practiced everything, and I guarantee you they've been looking for T.J. Rogers to get to the outside the whole game, and they've really just swallowed him up in the backfield, not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage so that he doesn't turn a little run into a big gain.
Here comes a pitch to Bradley Morales. He'll try and get to the outside to around the 25, so about a 3-yard gain for Morales.
Intensities are high here.
So another 3rd down coming up for the Panthers.
You just got to wonder when is enough for this Cabot Panther offense? When can one of them rally the whole offense and just flip a switch into where Cabot turns into a mean, hungry, running machine like they can be?
We marked at the 25-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and 7 for the Hornet defense.
3rd and 7 for the Panthers. Just 10 minutes left into tonight's ball game. Still your score 20-0. Woodemaker on the option. He was looking for T.J. Rogers in the backfield, but is met by the Hornets defense. So they had both sides of the option covered. They had Jesse Woodemaker and T.J. Rogers in bad positions on that one. So a 4th down and long coming up, and it looks like the Panthers will. And it looks like the Panthers will just punt this ball away.
Ball's going to be marked at the 23-yard line. It's going to be 4th down and 9 for the Hornet defense.
And it seems like Cabot is finally punting in tonight's ball game here, as they've gone for it the last 3 or 4 times and just not converted here.
About a loss of 2 right on that last play from Woodemaker. High snap for Thurman. Thurman will be able to get the punt off onto the opposite side of the field, and it will take a short Panther bounce to around the 34-yard line before being called dead.
And as the Cabot Panther defense comes back on the field here, you got to wonder, in the mind of Kyle Rudolph, if he's wondering if he can get in the position to make a big-time play like he did on the last drive and get another interception so that Cabot's offense can take over once again and hopefully finally do something here tonight.
.901 left. As it will probably look for the Bryants to waste most of the rest of this clock for the fourth quarter to get out of this matchup against the Panthers with a win, as there is a flag on the play.
It's probably going to be false start. That's what it usually is when the refs call flags like that.
Will be a false start on Bryant, so we'll move them 5 yards back.
And Cabot's just really got to eliminate the run game here if they even want a chance to not win the game, but just score. I think Cabot sealed their own fate in trying to win this ball game here.
Heffley will keep, actually, looks to be they made a quarterback change. Austin Ledbetter. So Heffley's probably done for the rest of the game to just. So Heffley looks to be done for the rest of the game to get a little more rest and not have an attempt of being injured for the rest of this game, as there's only 8:30 left and the Hornets are up 20. So
man in motion here.
So let's see what the backup Ledbetter is about, as he will start with a completed pass on second down.
Makes it third down for the Bryant Hornets because he didn't exactly get the first down, so it's going to be third and about 5 yards, 4 yards here.
Yep. Number 13, Braylon Butler on the reception. So another running back that shows that they can do it as a receiver as well instead of being in the backfield with any of their quarterbacks. We're seeing a new face at quarterback finally for Bryant. Calls a receiver in motion. Ledbetter will hand the ball off to looks to be Adams again, and Adams has got the first down and past the 50.
And after this ball game tonight, you got to wonder what can the Cabot Panthers do in practice and during the week to really prepare themselves for their next matchup, which is their final home game of the season, by the way. And you know, if the Cabot Panthers lose their last home game, then I don't know. I just don't understand why the Cabot Panthers can't rally here and perform a miracle comeback. I think their lines are just tired.
Another receiver called in motion.
Play's going to be called dead here.
Bryant will be calling a timeout. So we'll be back after the timeout break.
What's up, everyone? Ryan,
hey,
Joey
what's going
here,
on, guys?
Red River.
How's it going?
Summer's ending right now, so that means the summer clearance event is going on right now.
That's
here at
right.
Red River.
That's right. On all of our new Ram, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep products, Ryan. Boom, boom.
Look,
There's my wife. Hey, babe.
look, that is
Hey, that got bought from us yesterday.
I know.
Thanks for all y'all support. But hey, man, we've got great deals going on right now, so you can visit our website at redriverdodge.com.
We do best selection,
Best prices, the most for your trade. I promise you.
and can't forget we deliver.
And we deliver. Go Panthers!
Welcome back after the timeout break from Bryant. But yeah, next week the Panthers will go back to Panther Stadium and play their last home game of the year. Last home game for Malham against the Northside Grizzlies. Grizzlies before tonight 5-2, but they play undefeated North Little Rock. So North Little Rock looking to maintain the undefeated season against Northside as Ledbetter for this play will pitch it out to Butler, and Butler will hit to the outside. About a gain of 6 or 7.
Bryant's just doing a tremendous job of running the ball here tonight.
All three running backs that we've seen have been able to do something in the backfield with Butler, Adams, and Scott. So that's what they've showed. Like a couple of the Panther players were right. Bryant can do it on the run and through the air, mainly on the run. Mainly on the run tonight, as the weather affected most of the pass game, so they were able to get it done on the handoff. And another handoff. That one goes to Adams, but the defense forces a no gain on that play.
That's what you like to see as a defense coordinator. You like to see multiple white jerseys running towards one blue jersey and just group tackling him to secure a tackle and make sure he's down on the ground, so that if it's not just one white jersey running towards another blue jersey, that he doesn't get trucked or get shook or gets a broken tackle.
So a 3rd and 6 coming for the Hornets on the 44-yard line. It looks like Ledbetter is all alone in the backfield. Another spread offense, 5 wide. Ledbetter looks downfield. And Carson Attaway. I almost said it was intercepted because Carson Attaway should have had that ball right in his hands, but was dropped. But nonetheless, it causes another 4th down for the Hornets, and the Hornets will look probably just to punt this ball away. 6:12 left in the 4th quarter, still 20-0.
The Bryant Hornets are probably just going to kick it in the end zone, make it a touchback, bring the ball back out to the 20 for the Cabot Panther offense.
Punt is up. A little low punt right there.
It's going to be a flag on the play.
There's a flag on the play. It did look like the kick before going inside the 5 already hit a Bryant defender. So wherever the ball was intentionally touched by the defender, it will be spotted at.
Yeah, like you said, it looked like it touched a Bryant player, but as soon as that ball had hit a Bryant player, that's when the referee threw the flag. So I don't know if the ref just put the flag back in his little pocket and just canceled out the flag, or what happened there.
So the Panthers will start on the 18-yard line. It looks to be Jesse Woodemaker will be done for the night, as Jake Mowdy will come in as quarterback. And there was a fumble on the snap. Isaiah Ogilvy was able to pick up the ball back, but it was a fumble on the snap. It's number 4, Jake Mowdy, our backup quarterback, will start this possession. So first play, loss of 5. Ball will be spotted on the 14-yard line, as Graham Turner will run off the field and Wyatt McMahon will take his spot.
And you got to wonder here, for the backup quarterback coming into this game late and pretty much a blowout here, what can you do to just run the ball and put this ball game away and get going back to Cabot and get your guys ready for the next game?
Jake Mowdy looked to be on a QB sneak almost on 2nd down and long, but that Bryant D-line has looked impressive all game, getting that pressure and stopping these runs, especially those outside runs that we're used to seeing as Panther fans with T.J. Rogers not getting to the outside. This D-line has been not perfect, but it's been one of the best D-lines that the Panthers have played this year.
They studied their game tape well, prepared well. They've done everything in preparation for this game, for their homecoming game. They've done it well, and it's shown here tonight as the Panthers are getting beat 20-0 here late in the 4th quarter.
Yep. That 3rd down was a no good one for the Panthers, so it'll be a 4th down, and it looks like the punting unit will come back on for the Panthers as Red is set back for the punt.
It's like you said, they're going to punt here.
Another high snap. Rhett will punt inside of the 5-yard line, and another good bounce for Rhett's punt, as it will be spotted around the 39-yard line. So punting from around inside the 5 to the opposite, almost 40-yard line is a very impressive kick for Rhett. So you're going to stop it there. And I'm going to let I don't know if you know because first time doing this, but we like to do our MVPs of the game. So I'm going to give you the offense. Give us the MVP for the offensive side. I'll do defense. So for the Panthers offense, who are you giving the MVP to?
I'm drawn between two people, and one of the people is it's a whole group, but I'm drawn between Jesse Widowmaker and the whole offensive line because the offensive line may have looked sluggish here, but they've really opened up some runs for the Cabot Panthers offense, and Jesse Widowmaker has really just used his legs and shown that he's a dual-threat quarterback here and just really did his best to what he could do and try to win this ballgame for the Panthers.
I'm going to give the defensive MVP to junior number 3, DeCairo Rudolph. He was able to step up when one of our leaders in Zane Harper was injured. He got that nice interception to give the Panthers back the ball. And he usually says in class, man, you got to talk about me. You got to talk about me. And he made a great play, and I got to give it to him. So, DeCairo Rudolph, this one goes to you. I'm giving you the MVP for the defensive side of tonight's game.
And, I really agree with you as a whole. If there's one person on the Cabot Panther team that deserves an MVP award, that is DeCairo Rudolph because he stepped up when one of our big-time guys went out. And so, like you saying, DeCairo Rudolph did a pretty good job tonight.
Those are the MVPs on the field. And, without our production team, as that pass is caught, that's a big play from Bryant. It looks like they're just going to walk right into the end zone. I wasn't expecting that from Bryant. I thought they'd just run this clock out, but they show no mercy against this Panthers defense for another touchdown. But I was going to say, before that caught me right off guard, those were the MVPs on the field, but without our production team tonight, this wouldn't be happening. It is a very rainy night, and so a bunch of people coming out to support the fans and just us as CHTV, me and Tristan, calling the game for y'all at home. We have Corey Marks here running the stream. Cameraman, we have Jack and Jordan Moore. Caleb Gullahorn, who was your on-field reporter for tonight, giving you a couple recaps and previews of tonight's game. And, also can't forget the one and only Chuck Massey for bringing us. He helps us out with so much stuff. So we got to thank him for just bringing us to tonight's game. Unfortunately, the Panthers weren't able to come out with the win as it is basically a shutout, 27-0 with 2.5 minutes remaining.
And, like you were saying, you were thanking Chuck Massey, and I really want to thank him personally for giving me this opportunity as a sophomore to come and do this with you guys. And I've really learned a lot, and I really can't wait to do this as a junior and a senior as time to come. But hopefully next time I come out to do this with y'all, we'll have a better performance and we'll win a game. But, you got to wonder, as the Cabot Panthers roll into their next home game, their last home game, what are they going to do during practice to really prepare for it, if they're going to really be ready for it, or if they're just going to lose again. Because I guarantee you, if I know any of those guys on the team, like I think I do, I know they do not want to lose their last home game of the season, and I know they want to come into they want to finish the season and go into the offseason strong, and really just prepare for next season. And whoever becomes the head coach of Cabot, I hope you're ready for a good career of wild, crazy football here in Cabot, Arkansas.
Tyler Parks will be on the return. His first return, he'll be close to around the 40-yard line. So with 2:30 left, the Panthers have just got to take this game into next week with a long week ahead of them of film and practice to get ready for that last home game against the Grizzlies.
Like you were saying, the last home game against the Grizzlies, I just can't wait to see what Cabot does in preparation for this game, and how much they practice and how much they work to get at least one more win on the season before the season ends.
See another handoff to Graham Turner. maybe a loss of 1. Maybe he got back to the line of scrimmage.
And Graham Turner's really shown a lot here tonight from the lack of production from T.J. Rogers.
Wyatt McMahon will come back into the game. They've actually made another quarterback change from Mowdy. It will be junior, number 39, Mason Wade. So Mason Wade hand the ball off to Wyatt McMahon. So a minute 40 left in tonight's game. Like I said, Panthers just got to take this one, put it in the books, and look forward. They have 2 more games, and the Bryant Hornets can't think of this one too highly because next week they go right into North Little Rock, and that is not going to be an easy game. So I can just tell you that right now. 1 and 2 team in the state battle off.
And what are we going to do if, say, North Little Rock beats Bryant next week, and then when Cabot comes to play North Little Rock in North Little Rock Stadium, what are the Cabot fans going to do, in your opinion, if we somehow find a way and will to beat North Little Rock?
I mean, at the end of the day, any team is unbeatable. You know, if the other team is just in that well-round-minded state of game and both sides of the team are looking as good as possible and looking better than the team, I mean, any team is unbeatable. But North Little Rock, very impressive team, and that's why they're ranked number 1.
Yeah, but you got to realize every team has weakness, and if Cabot can find a weakness of their next opponent at home or even North Little Rock, then maybe they're going to find a way to use that to their advantage and possibly finish out with not only 1 win on the season but two more wins.
That run by Wyatt McMahon will be enough for a Panthers first down, but only 22 seconds left remain into this game. 27-0, it looks like to be your final score almost.
If I was Cabot, I would just knee it. Just get the game over with. Get your boys back home on the bus ride. Talk about the game. Talk about what you need to work on during practice. As a sign of life, it's getting shown at the very tail end of the game, but it's not going to work.
As Wyatt McMahon on the carry, and that will wrap up the 4th quarter as your final score, Bryant 27, Cabot 0. Stay tuned for next week as we will be back at Panther Stadium for the last home game of Malham's career, for the last home game for the season against the Northside Grizzlies. Reporting for CHTV Sports, I'm Nick Ryan.
I'm Tristan Harlan.
Have a great night.